ambitious women. You are seeing me again, like nearly 2 days in a row. I didn't go live yesterday, but the day before. Why do people have failed launches? Why do you think that is? Have you launched? Have you failed before? Have you succeeded all the launches you have done? Let me know. I would love to have a conversation about it. I have been doing Instagram Reels for every day so far of this year. In 2021, I was not on Instagram, like barely ever. And now I'm coming to the world of Instagram. So I've posted a reel every day of this year. And one of my reels was talking about how I was able to hit my first 5-figure week within 6 months of business coaching. And within that reel, I explained the highs and the lows very briefly. It was probably like a 15-second reel, but I mentioned a failed launch or failing to sell one of my high ticket offers. And I want to talk on the subject of why failed launches happen, why you may have experienced the failed launch, why I've experienced a failed launch, and ultimately, how do we avoid launching and nobody buying, or launching and only getting one person in? How can we create consistency in your income, in signing clients? All of that jazz we're going to talk about. I'd love for you to drop any questions you have in the comments, and if you're joining me live, let me know by commenting #live. As always, replay in the comments if you're watching this after the fact. So launching. What is a launch, first of all? I'm referring to launching an offer. So not just launching your business, but launching a specific offer. So a course, a program, a one-to-one service. You have created or thought of or built out something that you are then sharing to the world, and you have an expectation that people, ideally your ideal client, is going to buy in. Okay? So a failed launch would be having that launch, letting people know, marketing it, or uh, publicly announcing it, and not having people invest. So it would be, I would say, inaccurate, irresponsible for me to say there's one reason that you or I or somebody else has had a failed launch. Because it could be one reason, it could be a plethora of reasons, and it could be in between. It could be a combination of a few things. So what we want to talk about is the themes we're seeing. What are the themes we're seeing amongst people that have failed launches? Okay? The number one thing I believe to be the factor of a failed launch is no warming phase. Nobody's in front of you. Nobody can see you. And you launch it, but nobody sees you, nobody hears you, so who's going to buy it? Nobody knows about it. And I would say that is the number one thing. People are so focused and worried about perfecting their program, perfecting their sales page, and then they get that already, they announce it, but they're announcing it to no one. And it takes the know, like, and trust factor, it takes that nurturing for somebody to invest in you. So even if, you spent that time working on the back end of things, meanwhile, your front end, your social media hasn't been nurtured to a point where they're ready to buy. Okay? You can't launch to nobody. You can't launch successfully to an audience of no one. So that is the number one thing. We need to make sure you're effectively nurturing and building and growing an audience so you're contributing to your expertise, you're contributing to your authority online by nurturing your audience, sharing your knowledge, sharing your stories, sharing the transformation you can help provide. That's going to start to warm up your audience so that they're ready when you are ready, when you launch, they are ready to buy. They have been waiting for this. They're excited. They have their credit cards in hand. Yes, finally, she has this offer out and is ready for me. That's what you want, okay? So you can't launch to nobody. So right now, if you're newer to the space and you haven't launched anything before and you are currently building out your program and working on the design, working on your website, working on all of this, but you're not focusing on actually growing a platform or nurturing some sort of audience, then I highly recommend that you maybe think about what you need to prioritize in your business. I'm not saying ditch all that and only focus on growth, but you want to kind of simultaneously do these two things. Okay, grow your audience while working on building out your offer. Okay, it doesn't have to be one or the other, but growing the audience or growing some sort of platform is going to allow you to get those eyes onto you. So when you do deliver that offer, there are people that see you and hear you and are ready to take that next step. What are some other reasons a launch could fail? Well, if your audience isn't full of ideal clients and you've created a program for ideal clients, that's not going to work out too well. Or vice versa, you have an audience full of ideal clients, but your program isn't what they want. You haven't done the market research, you haven't seen the proof in the plan, then that could be another reason. Okay, we need to make sure we're delivering what people want. We are marketing what people want and delivering what they need. Okay? We market to what they want, we deliver to what they need to effectively have the transformation they are after. Use your ideal client's language. Okay? So, let's say it's neither of those scenarios. Why could a failed launch happen? Well, we need to look at ourselves. And this is why I would say I had my failed launch. Last year, I had a failed launch. A lot of people have failed launches. Not everybody talks about it, but it's very, very normal in this space to launch and not have the outcome that you initially anticipated. Okay? Not saying it's a good thing, but we learn from these things as well. So in my case, the reason why my launch failed, it wasn't because I had an audience. I did have an audience. It wasn't because my offer wasn't the right fit. I knew my offer was exactly what my ideal client needed, but it came down to me. Came down to me, my mindset, and my belief in my ability to deliver the transformation that I was saying I was going to deliver. I love my program, but I didn't have enough self-belief to effectively portray the value in which this program was comprised of. Okay, this program is amazing, but I didn't have the belief in myself in delivering it, and therefore that reflected in my confidence, not just pitching it on a live, but also on the sales calls. Because the sales calls is where the sales are happening, it's where we're closing the deal. I wasn't closing those sales calls because I was not able to have the confidence and the ability to speak the value that it would provide for that person. And therefore, they're not going to invest. They're only going to invest if they see the value in what you have to offer. But if I can't effectively deliver the value to that person, then of course they're going to keep their money in their wallet. They're going to keep their card in their wallet. You want people to be excited, ecstatic to start working with you. That is literally the best feeling. There's no objections. It's just okay, let's take this next step. I'm so excited to get started. That's what you want. Okay? So when we think about the way we're doing sales calls and how we feel after sales calls, we need to look into this if you're not feeling good about sales calls, okay? Because it's going to hugely determine the way your sales calls go, the way you feel about sales calls. I completely shifted from going a place of really nervous to get on this sales call, thinking, okay, what do I need to say? Say this, say that, say this. Where now I just view it as a conversation, and the person that's getting on the call with me is an ideal client because they've gone through the questionnaire. So I know that they are a potential client, and it's really just like they're 90% there. I'm just doing 10% of the work on the call to actually close the sale and receive the payment. So we want to make sure you're getting qualified leads on those calls so you're not draining your energy by getting on tons of sales calls with freebie seekers. Um, and it's fine to have people in your community that, want to go in your free trainings, free downloads, that's fine, but you need to respect your time and have boundaries with your time. So decreasing possibly the amount of sales calls you're having, increasing the quality, your overall conversion is going to increase, your income's going to increase, and you're not going to be draining your own bucket by hopping on all these calls with people that have no intention of investing. Okay, so the three things. Why do people have failed launches? One, they're launching to nobody. Two, they've either created an offer that's not for their audience, or their audience isn't their ideal clients, therefore their offer isn't resonating with them. Third is yourself, your self-belief, and your ability to accurately be able to share the value in which your program, your course, your one-to-one service provides. So how? How do we accurately share the value of our program? So when we think of an individual, we want to know what that individual wants. Okay, this is more sales call strategy. So somebody hops on a call with me and says their biggest struggle is lead generation and their goal is to hit their first 5K month. Okay, I know their pain point, lead generation. I know their goal, 5K month. Now, I just need to line up my offer with those goals. So I let them do the talking on the call, and now I'm going to bring it back to them. You know, let's say, in these next 60 days, we will get two major lead generation streams injected into your business, and we will have your systems built out that will enable you to surpass those 5K months in the next 60 days. Is this sounding like a good fit to you? Likely they're going to say yes, because you have solved their problem by telling them that you're going to help them with the lead generation streams, and they are going to reach their goals by hitting those 5K plus months in the next 60 days, which would be the time frame you're working with them. So really what you're doing is you're helping them see the value in your offer by letting them know that your offer solves their problem. If that same person hopped on the call and I said, okay, great. My program is about sales call strategy, content creation, lead generation. You'll also get a bonus, blah, blah, blah. It's what we think is great about our program, but it's not what they want. They just came on the call to hear that I can help them with lead generation and I can help them reach those 5K plus months. They didn't come to hear that I'm going to help them with content creation, that I'm going to help them with sales call strategy, that I'm going to help them with all of this. To them, that's just like, oh, I didn't even know I need that. We need to be able to piece together for them, simplify it, simplify it. Don't think all the bells and whistles is going to attract everybody, because it actually won't, and it often leads to overwhelm. That's what I did. I was hopping on calls telling people, you get this, da, 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 da. And they're like, oh my word. Like, I need to think about this. It's overwhelming. We just want to be clear, concise, and let them know that we are the solution, or our program is the solution to their problem, and it will help them work towards and or achieve their goals. Same thing when it comes to pitching on lives, like I'm doing a live right now. The better you know your ideal client, the more you're going to know those pain points and desires, and therefore you're going to be able to effectively pitch and resonate with what they are going through. Okay? Let me know your thoughts on this so far. So that's kind of my three reasonings to why I think majority of people fail some of their launches, why I've failed my launches in the past. Okay, now how do we go a more positive route? How do you consistently sign clients? Okay, first of all, I want to know, do you need help with a launch strategy? Do you know what a launch strategy is? Do you need help with it? If you do, comment launch below. Okay, now moving on. How do you consistently sign clients? So, launching and consistently signing clients aren't the same thing. Launching is like, okay, it's here, everybody. It's like a celebration. But consistently signing clients doesn't have to be launching all the time. You can launch often. Some people launch once a year. Some people launch 12 times a year. And other people launch maybe in between 5 times a year. But they can all be consistently signing clients. You don't have to launch every time you want to sign clients. It's a good way to get a cash injection, and it's a good way to like get beta tests and testimonials injected into your business, but it's not the only way to consistently sign clients. The way I have been able to consistently sign clients, even just in starting this new year, we're almost 3 weeks in, and I've been able to sign on high ticket clients already and reach my January income goal, is through my routine. I haven't launched anything within the last 3 weeks, but I've been able to bring on clients for both my coaching, like coaching one to one, and my done for you services. And that is through following my routine. So, my routine is comprised of 4 different action steps. I've talked about this before, but it's basically my bulletproof plan of taking my whole year of last year, figuring out what worked well for me, what was enabling me to sign clients then, taking out all the stuff that wasn't working, only taking in what was working, and making it a daily routine. So I know every time I show up for my business, every time I check off this checklist, I am actively getting myself closer to signing a client. I'm consistently doing lead generation activities and I'm consistently asking for the sale. Okay, so how can you consistently sign clients? Well, one, you can launch if you want, and two, you have a routine. So you have a step-by-step system to take somebody from cold to client. For me, I have a 5-step framework. Cold to client 5-step framework where I've broken it down on the 5 steps it takes for somebody to be a new follower or Facebook group member to them turning into a paying client. If you don't have a strategy, if you don't have a step by step system, if you don't know how you have previously signed clients, then it's going to be extremely hard to repeat the results you've gotten. So, even if you've hit your income goals in the past, even if you've hit 4-figure, 5-figure weeks or months, that doesn't mean you can repeat it if you don't know the process. So if we think it's kind of luck of the draw, then it's gonna go like this. This is gonna be our revenue. This is gonna be how we're signing clients when, of course, we want it to be a steady stream up. We want that consistency and sustainability for your business, and that comes through repeated proven strategy so that you can repeat the process and repeat the results. So if you're interested in my 5-step framework, cold to client, let's say comment clients below. Okay, so if you need help launching, you're going to comment launch below. If you want to know how to consistently sign clients through my 5-step framework, cold to client, comment clients below. I hope this is beneficial to you. I want to do more trainings. This was spontaneous. I did not have a script. You could probably tell that I didn't necessarily plan this out, but I just really wanted to speak based on my experience, what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, and what I think is going to be most beneficial to you right now, and what may be possibly holding you back in successfully launching or consistently signing new clients. So, let's connect. Feel free to DM me if you're not the type of person to comment. Also, let me know if you want to see any other training topics. I am always open to hearing about what you guys want to learn about. That's why I'm here. Also, I never introduced myself at the beginning of this live. I'm Emily Dawn, business coach, and I serve female coaches and simplifying the process of organic social media marketing, more so Facebook marketing and more so Facebook groups. But I am expanding to Instagram now, as I said. Let me know who you are and who you serve in the comments, and have a fantastic rest of your week.